It truly feels like I woke up in the Twilight Zone or the Matrix, or something is just not right. Check out the headline. It says, Cyberpunk is somehow nominated for 2 Game Awards. I am not kidding you. Not 1, but 2 Game Awards. We're going to be talking about what these nominations are, and does Cyberpunk even deserve to be nominated in these categories? There's one category specifically that I just know is going to blow your mind. Plus, we're going to be talking about a bunch of other Cyberpunk news, and guess what? Red Dead Redemption. But not just Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 3. I kid you not. Take-Two had some words about the future of this franchise. So yeah, we're going to talk about that one. And we have another open world gaming franchise in the news today. Saints Row reboot has been delayed quite significantly, but they claim it's not because of the rough feedback that they have received, but because they need more time with this one. It seems like a lot of companies don't want to become the new Cyberpunk. So yeah, we're going to dive into this right now. First of all, starting out with Cyberpunk, let's talk about what is going on with these Game Award nominations. You know, the Game Awards, in my opinion, are very political to even get nominated or to even win. But here we go. Check this out. These are the categories. So first of all, we have this one right here. It is Best Music and Score. And a lot of people would say, hey, yeah, you know what? Cyberpunk has really good music. It has a really good score. Maybe it deserves to be in that category as a nominee. But this is the category that I know a lot of you guys will absolutely be baffled by. It says Best Role-Playing Games. Or some of you may actually think, hey, that this is a really good role-playing game. But I know for a fact, many of you are extremely disappointed that this game had lackluster life paths. They advertised this a lot with Cyberpunk, and it did not pan out at all to have the RPG elements that were promised beforehand. So to see Cyberpunk in this category, to me, is a slap in the face. I was absolutely shocked that it even ended up in any category, to be honest with you, considering the absolute horrid launch it had. I mean, it was pulled from the PlayStation Store, for God's sake. It had one of the absolute worst launches in gaming. So yeah, I was pretty surprised by the news. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, if you think Cyberpunk deserves to be nominated. Again, you know, one thing that I do think is interesting and I do enjoy about the game is the music. And when I'm roaming around on my motorcycle, as seen here, and getting thrown off of it, I'm enjoying the music all along, you know, the way. So yeah, it does have good music. But check this out right here. It says, in September 2020, devs announced the game's story would be shorter than The Witcher 3 because people did not finish the main story of The Witcher 3. 1 year after the release of Cyberpunk, 8% more players have finished the story of the game. What do you think today about this decision? And you can see the comparison here, that 33% of the player base have finished Cyberpunk, and then for Witcher, 25% right there. And of course, many people would say that The Witcher 3 was way better of a game than Cyberpunk. So these stats to me really don't matter. It shows that a lot of people, I think, in The Witcher 3 were really taken back by the actual side quests and the world itself and got super distracted by that and enjoyed it. But with Cyberpunk, you know, I'm surprised that many people even returned to finish the story because of the problems it had at launch. And I know that a lot of people probably shelved the game, in fact, until the next gen update or further updates and bigger DLC is released and fixes. So yeah, I think perhaps we will see that number change as time goes, but I prefer longer games, fleshed out games, games that have what was advertised. Again, talking about the multiple life paths that were supposed to be in this game, that ups the replayability significantly in my mind. But yeah, but on the side of modders, they're doing some really interesting things. I mean, do you want more pollution in your games? Well, check this out right here, because this is called California Climate 2077, another weather mod. But it isn't just another weather mod. It really promotes like the power of pollution. And this is a more realistic take on the future in my mind. It says here, 92 days of acid rain a year, fog and smog. Welcome to Night City. And there's like these probabilities right here. It says, using a combo of extremely rough math and statistics on San Francisco climate, I've made what I think should be realistic changes to the weather probabilities. Probabilities of sun is 15%, rain 22%, toxic rain 28%. fog 32%, pollution a whopping 40%. So yeah, you know, there's some really cool stuff they can still do with Cyberpunk and this system. I was honestly hoping for like radiation in the world where it would be tougher to get into places. And still, I think that's something that CD Projekt Red should consider adding to the game, where there are inaccessible locations where you have to really protect yourself from these resistances by finding armor or crafting something. I think it would be really, really cool gameplay mechanic to have in Cyberpunk. Let me know if you agree with that assessment or not, but maybe they could even add a like proper survival mode down the road. Now, yeah, we do have some Red Dead Redemption 3 news. I kid you not. This comes straight from Take-Two's CEO. He had some words to say recently during, I think it was a conference call. Says this: if it's really, really great, it will keep going. And he's talking about franchises. I don't know if you saw it. I just saw the new Bond film. That was great. You know, like every franchise to be James Bond. There are precious few entertainment franchises of any sort that fall into that category, but they do exist. And I think GTA is one of them. I think Red Dead is one of them. NBA is obviously one of them because the game will continue to exist. So yeah, we're going to be seeing more Red Dead Redemption in the future, but it's going to be a long time, it seems. So he goes on to say the following: it also requires you to be thoughtful and willing to rest the titles so you have a sense of, wow, this is a rare event. I've always said that annualizing non-sports titles runs the risk of burning out the intellectual property, even if it's good. So we take the time to make something we think is incredibly phenomenal. We also rest titles intentionally so that there's pent-up demand for that title, so it's a special event. And you know what? That's actually really smart. But I can't stand when it takes forever for games to come out, and I'm talking about GTA 6. Instead, we're getting tons of like remastered, and some of them are absolutely god-awful remasters. In the case of GTA Trilogy, we're seeing some of those reviews finally pouring in, and it's getting horrible reviews from critics and you know, the community alike. So yeah, they got to get busy and someday release GTA 6, and I don't want to wait. I do not want to wait a decade for another Red Dead Redemption. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know, maybe hire more people, create more studios. It seems like they have the infrastructure and ability to do so, but that's my assessment. I get not annualizing stuff like this. That is so important, so I do understand what he's saying there, but at the same time, my God, 10 years between these great games is just, in my opinion, redunculous. All right, so moving on, we're gonna be talking about, guess what? Saints Row reboot. That one was extremely well received, wasn't it? No, not really, but check this out. This says a Saints Row update from Jim Boone, the chief creative officer of Volition. We scroll down here and read what they have to say. They go on to say the following: Saints Row will no longer release on the originally announced date of 25th February 2022. Instead, it will launch worldwide on 23rd August 2022. That's actually a pretty significant delay, and it's such a bummer to hear that, but you know, I guess they want to get it right. Unlike what happened with Cyberpunk at launch, it would make sense that they would want to be like, you know what, we're going to hold off. They go on to say that it's their priority to create the best Saints Row game, and la 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 la, you get the idea. They say the project has a huge scope, and they weren't planning for the pandemic to get in their way, which has been happening to a lot of developers, both in the movie industry, wherever you are in the world. It's going to impact how you work and the workflow and work time of everything. So yeah, it makes sense that's delayed, but it's a pretty significant delay. That's a 6-month delay right there for Saints Row. As long as they get it right, I'm cool with it. You know, we'll see what happens. Honestly, it sounds like it has some interesting mechanics, so we'll see. All right, I think you guys know what time it is. It is time for top comments. I love reading your comments, so let's dive into them right now. I did a recent Cyberpunk video called The Following. It says here, Cyberpunk just got a strange new update. GTA Trilogy gets mass refunds, all new updates. So let's keep scrolling. We have Scotty28653 who says, it'll be a Christmas update. Johnny Silverhand will get an elf suit, and V will get a shiny new bicycle from Santa. Man, that's what I've been waiting for. That's all I want in Cyberpunk is those things. You read my mind, dude. But yeah, the rumor is we would be getting possibly some sort of update around December, Christmas time, but we'll see. The official news is we're getting no updates in 2021. So again, please don't hold your breath, move along, you know, check out other games, what have you, but I think it's going to be quite some time for Cyberpunk to get up on its feet. All right, so let's keep checking it out. We have Brav, who says, a year already? Damn, felt like yesterday when Jackie was stuck in T-pose. Yeah, just yesterday, man. All those glitches and errors. We have Owen, who says, I'm tired of companies releasing in a broken state, to be honest. I actually applaud 343 for delaying Halo Infinite an extra year. And the game looks crazy good. It definitely benefited from that extra year. The remastered trilogy's user score on Metacritic is actually worse than Cyberpunk at launch. The GTA Remastered Trilogy is nothing than a cash grab. Modders made the original game look better. Yeah, well, so I never imagined they would screw up the GTA trilogy this badly, something so sacred, you know, to Rockstar, and they have like infinite funds. For them to screw that up that badly, they really need to be looking at, what were they called? Grove Street Games, and figuring something out with that company. Now, secretly, Khajiit says this, I love Rockstar was sure to kick CD Projekt Red after Cyberpunk flopped with, we always try to ensure perfection, LOL, karma is a biatch. Yeah. Mikkel says, I'm tired of launch early, finish later. On that part, I miss the old days where they had one chance at a successful release. It was developed, tested, polished, and optimized at launch. These days, there's the early launch, and then there's the point where it has to be fixed enough to be launched again, and they're getting away with it. What really bothers me about this is there's games that are getting away with it that do not have an early access tag at all. It makes sense for a game with an early access tag to have some issues and they fix it and stuff like that because you expect that, you know what you're getting into. But with the case of Cyberpunk, nope, they don't have to do it, and yeah, they just keep getting away with it. Neil Brooks says this, I'm one of the opinion that they should have been drip feeding fixes and small piece of content into Cyberpunk to keep people engaged. This complete silence just lets people forget and move on. I've completed the game multiple times with different characters, completed every single side quest, tried every different combat style. What it needs is more content and fixes for the inexplicably bad AI. Brain dance is criminally underutilized. Completion of mission based on perimeters such as not being detected, not killing, or no evidence of presence needs to be ramped up to provide a reason not just to walk in the front door and kill everyone. It sounds like they're doing stuff to rebuild a lot of the systems in the game, what you are mentioning here. So that's why, so if I could just go here right now, that's why I think they're taking their time with this. They want to go in and flesh out the systems that they didn't fully have realized when the game released, and up the need for stealth and things like that, I would think. Now it says faction rivalries, between the city areas and between the mega corporations need to be fleshed out and included. They could even rip off greater Rift style gameplay by opening up giant office buildings where the difficulty of clearing a floor increases and the time required to clear it decreases with each level up. They could iterate any of those things into the game once a month, quarter, and keep people happy. The silence has just meant I'm playing something else since I can recite the lines NPCs are about to say to me back at them at this point. Yeah, you know, I think they're just going to try to make something big and for it to have an impact, because them drip feeding content, like what is it going to be? Is it just going to be a car here, you know? And it seems like they didn't plan on any DLC. In fact, you know, the game's problems has completely gotten in the way of any potential DLC plans they had. So drip feeding content to me is going to be bare minimum stuff, and people are still going to be like, there's this game that just came out. There's this absolutely massive Elden Ring that's coming up here in 2022. You have Halo Infinite. You have so many other games that are occupying people's attention right now. Small things, in my opinion, aren't going to do any type of positive change to the game immediately and bring back a large player base. They need something absolutely impactful, and that's why I say that the big expansions, at least one of them, need to be pretty much close to free. And that's going to be my opinion on that, and I stick with that because they have damaged their reputation so much. I feel like they have no choice but to offer something absolutely huge to their user base for free. But anyway, there it is, guys. Thank you so much for all the commentary and comments I guess you'd say, in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more Cyberpunk. Man, we covered Red Dead today. We covered a bunch of games. Also, I'm curious, what do you think about Saints Row? Do you think it stands a chance at this point? I do think it was kind of wise for them to back off, and, you know, I don't know what they're going to be doing, but we'll see if there's any character designs that are reworked. We'll find out. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.